The paw landed softly on the photo. Sophie froze. The shelter went silent. "You just put your paw on a photo and brought someone back to life," she'd whisper later. But in that moment, 12 years dissolved. A girl had snapped a picture of her puppy, one paw pressed to the edge, on July 14th, 2013. Today, that same dog found it. Sophie Delgado, 17 and adrift, stood in the Las Cruces animal shelter, her sketchbook slipping as Tucker, a wiry beagle with a white-streaked muzzle, flopped in his kennel, mirroring the pose, ears flopped, head tilted. Her pulse hammered, barks and clinks fading to a hum. It started hours earlier, March 24th, 2025, in the dusty back room, her Saturday shift thick with desert heat and bleach. She'd begun volunteering a month ago, dodging her mom's worried glances after quitting high school. Her art portfolio stalled. 5 years back, at 12, her dad's aneurysm stole him mid-sketch, leaving her tracing desert lines to fill the void in their trailer home, where sand hissed against the siding. That night lingered, a summer dusk heavy with cicadas. She'd sat with him on the porch, a lantern flickering, shadows jagged over his sketchpad. "Trace the spines, Soph. They're tougher than they look," he'd said, guiding her pencil across a cactus's silhouette, thorns sharp against the sunset's bleed. Paper rustled, his laugh soft as she smudged a line. "You see the world different, kid." Hours later, he'd clutched his chest. A gasp she missed till too late, her screams for 911 lost in the dark. Her mum, Elena, found her curled by his body, sketchpad crumpled, and after, their home turned hollow, Elena's diner shift stretching, Sophie's pencils dulling. That morning, Elena's voice cut through breakfast. "You can't hide in that shelter forever, Soph. What about school?" Sophie shoved her chair back, bowl clattering. "I'm fine, Mom." The trailer door banging shut. Their rift widened, Elena's exhaustion clashing with Sophie's silence. A wall neither breached. The shelter was her refuge, a chaos of tales she could face better than her mum's pleas or the portfolio she'd abandoned. She tipped the donation box, spilling leashes and toys, when a Polaroid fluttered out. A beagle pup staring back, paw on the frame, that cactus spiking the sunset, dated 2013. Her breath caught, her dad's lines reborn, and she pocketed it, a pull tightening her chest. The kennels thrummed, dogs clamoring at visitors. Sophie tucked the photo into her sketchbook, grabbed a mop, and hit the runs, sneakers squeaking. Passing the beagle pen, the pack howled, but Tucker sat apart, nose twitching as she neared. A stray from the desert 2 years back, ribs stark, no chip, no claim. Staff dubbed him the loner, always sniffing, waiting. She tossed him a biscuit. "Hey, Tuck!" And he caught it, tail flicking, eyes on her pocket. Tucker became her constant. Mornings. His nose nudged her sketchbook as she doodled by his gate, a cactus blooming under her pencil, anchoring her to a past she couldn't shake. Evenings. His snores paced her sweeping, a rhythm against the din. Rain kept her awake, rare in Las Cruces, echoing that night her dad faded, her calls too slow. Tucker felt it too, pacing his run, ducking under the bench, whining like a ghost tethered them. She'd watched him closer, his life unfolding in fragments. At dusk, he'd sniff when a car horn blared, ears perking, then settle with a huff. Nights, he'd circle his run, nose to the gate, as if tracking a scent long gone. Once, the shelter radio crackled, jambalaya, its twang slowed by static, and he'd curled up, eyes drifting shut, a memory lulled awake. Other dogs came and went, adopted fast, their barks fading, but Tucker stayed, gazing at the entrance, time his debtor. That afternoon, she pulled the Polaroid, showing it to Maria, The shelter manager, stout with a clipboard. Found this, any idea? Maria peered. Old shot. Could be anyone's but strays pile up. Sophie shrugged, but Tucker barked, sharp, pawing his gate. Kneeling, she asked, "What's up, bud?" He nosed her hand till the photo fell, then flopped. Paw landing square, head tilted. The cactus glowing in the shelter's dusk light. Same angle, same hue. Sophie's breath hitched, 12 years apart, mirrored perfectly. She grabbed it, eyes darting between Tucker and the shot, his gaze steady, knowing. "Maria!" she shouted, voice quaking. Maria bustled over. "What's he doing?" Sophie thrust the Polaroid up. "It's him. Same pose, same light." Maria frowned. "Coincidence, Soph. He's maybe 8. That's 2013. Sophie counted. 2 years here, found on 70. Age unknown. Tucker whined, pawing faster, tail thumping. Loss clung to her. Her dad's death a wound she'd buried in charcoal. Blaming herself for missing his last breath. But this pulled her forward. "I'm keeping it," she said, resolve firm. Maria sighed. "Your call." That night, Tucker paced, sniffing the gate, restless as if storms brewed. Sophie lay awake, the Polaroid by her bed, cactus a ghost of her dad's lines. Dawn broke. She sketched him over the photo, lines merging. "Who are you?" She'd locked Loss away once, not now. Back at the shelter, she sat by his run, photo between them. He flopped again, paw down, eyes on the entrance. A man entered, late 60s, weathered hands clutching a cane. "Lost a beagle years back, might be mine." Sophie's stomach flipped. She led him to Tucker, who sniffed, then turned away. No spark, no pose. The man sighed. "Mine had a scar. Left flank, not him," and shuffled out. Sophie exhaled, relief mixing with dread. What if no one came? Tucker nudged her, steady, waiting still. Days later, a woman walked in, mid-40s, sun-bleached hair, denim jacket, steps tentative. "Just browsing," she told Maria. But Tucker barked, wild, lunging at the gate. Sophie stood. "He likes you." The woman, Lisa, knelt, hands shaking as Tucker licked her fingers. "Hey, little guy." He pawed her knee, hesitated, ears twitching. Lisa murmured, "Scout, you still love drawings?" And he flopped, paw out, head tilted, the pose snapping into place. A slow jambalaya twang humming from the radio, softening the air. Lisa gasped. "He did that, my Scout, on pictures." Sophie's throat tightened. "Scout?" Lisa nodded. "Lost him 12 years ago, my daughter's dog. She died in a crash. He ran off." Sophie handed her the Polaroid. "This yours?" Lisa's breath caught. "That's Scout. Her shot July 2013, before..." In tears welled. "We lived off 70. Car flipped. I woke up in the hospital. He was gone." She pulled a creased photo from her wallet. Scout sprawled on a sketch pad, paw down, then reached into her pocket, trembling. "Found this last week. Kept it with me." A faded collar slid out, stitched with A+S. Ava and Scout. Its leather worn but intact. She fastened it on Tucker, a perfect fit, and he whined, pressing close. Sophie's mind raced. "He's from 70. 2 years here." Lisa rubbed his ears. "Older, but those eyes..." Maria checked. No chip stray could be. Lisa spoke soft. "After the crash, I left food by 70 for 3 years. Called till my voice broke, then gave up. Ava drew him every day, him on her pad, like you. A sketch of that cactus hung on Lisa's fridge. Ava's hand behind it." Sophie's chest twisted. He ran to her, not me. A pang flaring. Maybe I was just the bridge, not the destination. Lisa signed papers, hands steady. "He's mine. I feel it." the collar glinting as Tucker leapt to her truck. A second chance 12 years late, jambalaya, fading on the radio. Sophie watched, pencil still, envy softening to warmth, her sketch capturing his bound. The shelter emptied, dusk settling, and the camera lingered on an old leash swinging faintly on the counter, a breeze nudging it, light dimming slow. The Gazette ran it. Beagle's paw on photo reunites past. Strangers left toys by his run, a note taped up. For Scout, time's keeper. Months later, an envelope arrived. Lisa's handwriting, a photo inside. Scout sprawled by a new sketch, the collar snug. Her note, he's home. Sophie smiled, pulling her portfolio from the shelf, pencils sharp, her art school application ready. Elena paused by her door that night, peering at the sketches. "You're drawing again, mihija?" Her voice was quiet, warm. "Enough," Sophie nodded, a crack in their wall mending. One dusk, she lingered by the empty kennel, sketchbook open. Scout's truck had faded around the bend, tail drumming, jambalaya humming faint in her mind, now a warm refrain. She pulled the Polaroid, 2 paw prints, old and new, and sketched one last image. 2 prints etched in desert dust. One a memory, one a promise, past and future bound by sand. A breeze lifted the page, and she whispered, "You just put your paw on a photo and brought someone back to life." From her dad's silence to her own rebirth, Tucker had traced the line. So, viewers, picture this. A dog rests his paw on a photo and finds a second chance. What if your pet carried a past you'd never know? Tell us below, we're hooked. If Tucker's tale lit you up, smash that like, subscribe, and catch our next furry legend now.